What's up, YouTube? RC Cards 88 here. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful day today. Today is a first for the channel, as this video will be kind of my documentation of my first attempt of trying to grade cards with PSA. I found this person on Instagram. I'm not using clay cards. I do understand that he is one of the best in the business, but I kind of wanted to give this person a try. And it's One of One Card Shop PSA. His product is only, or I should say his service cost is only $9 a card for 45 days and $12 a card for 30 days. So I'm going to be submitting these under 45-day submission for $9 a card, which is about $2 cheaper than clay cards. And that's not the main reason why I'm doing that. The other reason is the guy actually lives very close to me, so I can actually save on shipping both ways. So in concept, that's like I can hand deliver it to him. So in concept, that's going to save me on these 11 cards. That's $22, $2 per card at 11 cards plus shipping. So really that allows me to grade about 3 cards for free in comparison. So that's the reason why that I'm using One of One Card Shop PSA instead of clay cards. But it does cut down on the cost, which makes it a little bit easier for me to try to do this. And honestly, I have never done this before. I've read up a little bit as to what to look for, and I'm kind of hoping that he'll tell me which ones are gradable or not. But these are the 11 cards that I basically have picked out. We'll start right here with the base, kind of like the most basics. I've been collecting some Sam Darnold prisms, so I think I have 6 base rookies. I'm going to have them look at them, and if any of them don't look like they're going to potentially be a 10, then I won't submit them. I don't want to get necessarily a 9. I want every one of them to have a shot, so if they don't have a shot, I'm asking him to let me know, so then that way we don't submit them. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and this is actually what you're supposed to submit them in, is kind of this card saver. The only thing is, though, I personally just hate trying to put the cards in there. I feel like I'm just not very good at it, so I'm leaving that up to him. So I'm just going to leave them in my top loaders and providing him with the card savers that are needed for the submission. So we've got 6 Darnolds here. When I was initially going for them, a Darnold was over about $100 for a PSA 10. Now I think they're about anywhere from like 50s to 70s, depending upon the day. But anyways, that's going to be 6 of them right there is Sam Darnold. We're also going to be submitting Luka Doncic. This I actually pulled. The card does look pretty good, so I'll be interested to see what he says. I forgot to look up what his PSA 10 is going for, but he's had a couple of crazy games already this year. So hopefully, I'm hoping this comes back a 10, but that would be really cool if it does, because that card could be worth something. Just the base card alone is actually worth a pretty penny already. So it'd be cool to see that a PSA 10. This Baker Mayfield Disco, I've been sitting on this card for a while. Unfortunately, Baker cards have gone down, or maybe fortunately, if he's somebody you like to collect. He's definitely somebody you can buy a little bit on a discount right now. I just think this card is pretty gorgeous. It's the Prism Disco. This is not numbered. But I felt like this would be a good card to try to see if I could get that to gem in a 10 and maybe sell this and get something else instead. This card right here, this is a Trae Young silver prism. So he's also been going off crazy. I think he had some crazy stat of like he's the first Hawk ever for the first like 2 games of the season to have 30+ points, like 9+ assists and 7+ rebounds or something crazy like that. But definitely looking forward to seeing if this gem mints a 10. I think the card is pretty flawless, to be honest. The corners look great. The centering looks great. And that's the other thing that I've learned is that I guess on PSA, they don't grade as tough on centering, and it's maybe their lowest score or lowest factor that contributes to the overall final score. So that might help. I definitely have some cards in the mail that I'm also very interested in grading, but I'm not going to be able to make this submission. These 2 are like the heavy hitters, in my opinion. LeBron James Optic, silver within his Laker jersey. So this is like the first, card of LeBron maybe not the first card, I shouldn't say, but rather the first year in which LeBron is in his Laker jersey, and being an optic, silver. This card that I have seen as a PSA 10 has gone for like anywhere from like the high 500s all the way up to like $800. So be really cool if this gem mints at a 10. Right now, I think the raw cards are upwards of $50 right now because everybody's trying to, I would assume, grade the card. So we'll see what we get here. The card, I did pull this. It's pack fresh. The corners look real strong. Really excited to see what this card comes back at. The centering does seem slightly off. That's my only concern as to why it would come back at 9. But I think the card is beautiful. So hopefully with what I was talking about before, they grade a little bit easier on the centering, and that can come back as a 10. And then finally, this is the card that I just pulled off of my my Prism hobby box. The centering looks perfect on this. The edges look great. The corners look great. The autos all on card, or not on card, but all on the sticker, fits in very nicely. The red I really like with the red wave parallel with the Washington Redskins jersey. I think that looks really nice, and that's 108 out of 149. So I kind of have high hopes for these. So we'll see, and hopefully maybe 45 days, but more likely than not, it'll probably be almost double that time from what I understand when you submit cards. That's one of the reasons why some people, especially those who like to flip cards, don't submit, because it does tie up your cards for a little bit of time. But I'm really interested to see how these come back. I think this is going to cost me roughly around $99 for these 11 cards, plus, the supplies. But I'll be really interested to see how it comes back, and maybe I can learn something from it in the process and be a little bit more savvy the next time I'm going to submit some cards. I'll do a really cool mail day video. I'm waiting for a couple of things to come in, but I got a lot of really cool things to show off. Some of them will definitely go off to get graded later. But anyways, just wanted to share this. It'll be fun to do this in a couple of months when we get the cards back, and be able to share what the after was, and kind of see how many 10s that we get. But I'm really excited. I don't know what to expect. For those of you who have done it, let me know how the process worked out for you guys and who you use, and just kind of in general the types of cards that you would submit, because that's the other thing too. I really struggle with trying to figure out what are the cards to submit. Some of these I'll be using for personal collection. Some of these I will be using to resell. So I'm hopeful that they all PSA 10, but it'll be really interesting to see what comes back. Anyways, guys, a little bit of change of pace for the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed. Really excited to see what comes back, and can't wait to share it with you guys. Until next time, keep ripping those packs.